This time we're back with another subscription video for August coffee subscription. The coffee is on the way to you right now, and we just want to share what you can expect, where the coffee is from, how the coffee's been roasted, and how we're currently brewing the coffee as well. So this is a pretty special coffee from us, from one of our long-term partner farmers, Alejo Castro, from the Volcan Azul farm in Costa Rica. We've been buying his coffee basically ever since the start here at April, and this specific varietal has been with us as well. So the varietal in itself is an H1 Centroamericano varietal. These are interesting because they're what we refer to as a leaf-resistant hybrid varietals. And knowing Alejo and how they work at Volcan Azul, this is one of their favorite varietals. They actually spend a lot of time focusing on researching these kind of varietals to improve farming and improve taste quality as well. As we know, in Central America, they've been having historically a lot of issues with leaf rust and other diseases. So that's why these varietals are so interesting. And we did a bunch of videos of this also earlier in the year when we visited the farm. So if you want to, we have the links down here and you can get a bit more in-depth knowledge. Now, for those of you that don't know, the H1 varietal is a hybrid between two different varietals. One is a T5296 varietal, which is rust resistant. And the second one is one of my personal favorite varietals, the Sudan Rume, which is basically an Ethiopian landrace variety. And the combination of this makes for a really floral, complex, fruity cup of coffee. On top of this, or at the Volcan Azul farm, this coffee goes up on 1,600 meters and goes through what they refer to as their honey process, which is basically separating the skin and a bit of the mucilage before they're drying it for 12 to 14 days. Now, we've been working with this varietal for 2 years now, and the first season we had a slightly heavier kind of cup with notes of, we don't want to say earthy, but a quality where we could taste the resistant part of the varietal a lot more. And luckily now this year, it's a lot cleaner, it's a lot juicier, and the quality overall has become a lot better. So we're really happy to actually push this out for all of you. And it's for two reasons. It's because one, it is a delicious coffee, and it's two, it's an important coffee because it makes the farming process easier, right? It yields very, very good results, and production increases from 22 to 40% from other varietals. And on top of that, when it's grown really high, which 1,600 meters in Costa Rica would be, it produces an amazing cup quality. So we're excited, Alejo is excited, and we hope you guys are going to be excited when it arrives as well. Now, moving over to the roasting part of this coffee. As we already said, we've been roasting Alejo's coffees now ever since the start of April, and therefore we're relatively familiar with it. As you guys know, we're roasting 12 kilo batches on a 15 kilo loring standing behind me. And the process for roasting here is pretty simple. The character of the coffee is rich and sweet as it is, so we're really focusing on bringing out the flavor clarity, acidity, and juiciness to the structure, which in this specific case means that we're roasting it for a total time on 9 minutes and 37 seconds. Again, on the kind of shorter spectrum of where we are in terms of roasts. We have a time after roast that is 57 seconds. I know you guys love the percentage, even though we don't, but specifically that would be 9.9% of development time if you're into that kind of stuff. Our end temperature is 208 degrees Celsius, which for us is on the kind of higher spectrum on the filter coffee range. That's partially because this coffee is moving really quick after first crack. So it's one of those coffees that actually don't really decline naturally, but keeps a lot of momentum up. And that's why we're getting what appears to be a higher end temperature, even though the color ends up actually not being that high. Overall, this comes out really juicy, really vibrant, and really complex, which is super fun. Brewing wise, what we're doing with it at the moment, we're preparing for the launch of the April brewer, which is really exciting. It's going to be available later this year, more details coming soon. So what we're doing is we're playing around with the first prototypes of it, meaning we're working with a flatbed brewer at the moment, which is basically, in this case, allowing us to push ratios of about 1:16 or 1:17. So rightly or a bit on the higher side, right? And we do this because the coffee, again, is inherently very smooth, creamy, kind of full-bodied. So we wanted to stretch it out as much as we can, because we don't risk losing all of that body and structure in the coffee because it's so much there from begin with, so then we can brew it longer in terms of ratios, right? So that means we're also looking for a TDS strength that is a bit lower than what we're used to. In our case, it'll be around 1.28, 1.30 more or less. We already had a bunch of videos in terms of how we're brewing currently, and we're very much kind of focused on the recipe that I used competing in the World Brewers Championship, which again is another video we already done here, so you can see the recipe down here amongst the links. As we said as well, this is going to push out as espresso as well. We're really excited about it. Last year was one of the best espressos we had. This espresso you can really push out. We're brewing it with a 2.4 ratio. We're pushing extraction times around 20-22 seconds. We want it to come out a bit faster. And it becomes this really beautiful tactility and complexity in it that it's just really interesting in terms of quality. So that was a few details about what we're doing at the moment, what you guys can expect for the August subscription coffee here in April. If you have any questions, any thoughts, just write them down here. And for those of you that don't know, we recently updated our shipping protocols, which basically enable us to ship faster, better tracked, cheaper to all the countries in the whole world. So if you're not subscribing yet, have a look at that and see if that could work out for you. As always, thank you guys for watching. All the comments or other thoughts, just write them down here and we're always happy to reply.